I wasn't sure if she would realize the intentional ending, but the fact that she does makes me all the more enamored of her. Where can I find the song? Is it on Spotify? I shake my head. I have never released any of my own stuff. She looks at me in mock horror, slapping the arm of the couch. What? Why the hell not? I shrug. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe because everyone in Nashville thinks they are a somebody. I don't want to be someone who thinks I am a somebody. She stands up and walks over to where I am sitting on the piano bench. She pushes my shoulders until my back is leaning against the piano, and then she straddles me, both of her knees resting on the piano bench. I am looking up at her now, and she was holding my face in her hands. Her eyes narrowed as she speaks. You are being selfish by keeping your songs to yourself. It's better to be a selfless body than to be a selfish nobody. I think maybe I am glad I met this girl. Really glad. I grip the back of her head and bring her mouth to mine. I don't know what's happening here. It's been a hell of a long time since I have liked a girl enough to wonder where she was going to be the next day. But where will Leila be tomorrow? Where was she yesterday? Where does she call home? Where did she grow up? Who is her favorite person right now? I want to know all the things, everything. Leila breaks our kiss. Aspen warned me earlier tonight when she saw me staring at you. She said, promise me you will stay away from the musicians. They probably have chlamydia. I laugh. Did you promise her you would stay away from me? No, I said it's fine if he has chlamydia. He probably has condoms too. I don't have chlamydia, but I also don't have a condom. She separates herself from me and stands up. It's okay, I have one in my room. She turns and walks towards the door. I grab our wet clothes and follow her out of the room and up the stairs. She doesn't exactly invite me to her room, but I can tell she was expecting me to follow her because she was talking as she walks up the steps. It's been a while since I have ever done this, she says over her shoulder. I only have condoms because they were party favors for the bachelorette party. She spins around, pausing on one of the steps. I didn't realize how much harder it would be to get laid in the real world. You don't even have to make an effort in college, but after college, oh, she turns and begins walking up the stairs again. She opens the door to her room and I follow her inside. The problem with sex after college is that I had dating. It takes too much time. You dedicate an entire evening to a person you can tell in the first 5 minutes in a waste of your time. I agree with her. I much prefer the idea of going all in. I have always wanted someone I could instantly click with and then just fucking drawn in. I don't know if Layla could be that person, but it sure felt like it when we reached the bottom of the pole. That was the most intense kiss I have ever experienced. Layla takes our wet clothes out of my hands and walks them to her bathroom. She tosses them into the shower and then, on her way back into her bedroom, she says, you should quit the band. She has to be the most unpredictable person I have ever met. Even the simplest sentences catch me off guard. Why? Because you are miserable. She was right, I am. We both make our way to the bed. What do you do for a living? I ask her. I don't have a job. I got fired last week. She sits down and leans against the headboard. I lie on the pillow on my side, looking up at her. My face is near her hip, and it's both odd and sexy. Being this close to her thigh, I press my lips against it. Why would you get fired? They wouldn't let me off for Espen's wedding, so I didn't show up to work. She scoots down the bed and mirrors my position. Your boxes are still wet. We should probably take off the rest of our clothes. She was forward, but I like it. I grab her by the waist and pull her onto the on top of me. I place her so perfectly against me she gasps. I am taller than her, so her face doesn't reach mine, but I want to kiss her. She must want to kiss me too because she crawls up my body until our mouth connects. There aren't many items of clothing to remove between us as it is, so it only seems like seconds before we were naked under the covers and almost past the point of caring about a condom. But I don't know this girl and she doesn't know me, so I wait for her to fumble around the dark bedroom until she finds her purse. Once she retrieves a condom and hands it to me, I reach under the covers and begin putting it on. I think you are right, I say. About what? I roll on top of her and she spreads her legs apart, fitting me between them. I should quit the band. She nods in agreement. You would be happier playing your own music even if you don't make money from it. She kisses me, but only briefly before pulling back. Get a job you can tolerate. Release your music on the side. It's better to be poor and fulfilled than poor and empty. I was gonna say rich and empty, but I don't think you are rich, or you would be playing for that band. I would tell her I am not poor, but admitting that I play for the band willingly and not out of necessity is kind of embarrassing, so I would rather not say anything at all. If you were destined to be poor, it's better to be happy kind of poor, she adds. She was right. I kiss her neck, then her breast, then my mouth is resting against hers again. I think I am glad I met you. She pulls back a little, then smiles up at me. You think, or you are. I am very glad I met you. She trails her fingers over my mouth. I am very glad I met you. We kiss some more, and it's full of lazy anticipation. As we know, we have all night, and there was no rush. But I already put on the condom, and she was already guiding me into her. I still take my time with her, so much time. Minutes feel like they matter more when they are spent with her. She was on her stomach, and I am trailing unworthy fingers up the smooth curve of her spine. I reach the base of her neck and then sweep my fingers into her hair and begin caressing the back of her head. I would kill for a taco right now, she says. I have never wanted inside a girl's mind more than I want inside Layla's. Her mind doesn't work like other minds work. There was no filter between her brain and her mouth, and there was no conscience telling her she should feel bad for whatever it is she might have said. She just says things unapologetically and without any remorse, even when her words sting. I didn't know brutally honesty was sexy until tonight. I told her a few minutes ago she was the best sex I ever had. I expected her to return the compliment, but she just smiled and said, we always think that when we are in it, but then someone new comes along and we forget how good we thought it was before, and the cycle starts all over again. I laughed. I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. And then I thought about what she had said, and she was right. I lost my virginity at 15. I thought it was the best thing I would ever experience. But then Victoria Jared came along with when I was 17, and she was the best sex I had ever had. And then Sarah Kessner and the girl who snuck into my dorm freshman year, and two or three after that, and then Sable. Each time the aftermath made me think that was as good as it would get, but maybe they were all equally as good as the one before. None of them compared to Layla. I am certain of that, as certain as I was all the time before Layla. Are you religious? Layla asks. Her thoughts are as sporadic and intense as her action. I think that's why I am so intrigued by her. One minute she was on her back screaming my name as she digs her nails into my shoulders. The next minute she would on her stomach telling me how badly she was craving a taco. The next minute, she forgets about the tacos and wants to know if I am religious. I love it. Most people are predictable. Every word and action from Layla is like being handed a gift, wrapped, surprised. I am not religious. Are you? She shrugs. I believe in after death, but I am not sure I am religious. I think existence is simply luck of the draw. We are here for a while and then we are not. That's depressing, she says. Not really imagine what heaven is like. The instant positivity, the smiles, and the lack of sin, the thought of living eternally in a place full of people who spend their lives spouting off inspirational quotes sounds way more depressing to me than if it all just ends with death. I don't know if I believe in that kind of afterlife. Leila says I look at existence more as a series of realms. Maybe heaven is one of them, maybe it isn't. What kind of realms? She rolls onto her side. And when my eyes fall to her breast, she doesn't try to force me to make eye contact with her. Instead, she pulls my head against her chest as she rolls onto her back. I lay my head on her chest and cup one of her breasts as she casually fingers pieces of my hair and continues talking. Think of it like this, she says. The womb is one existent as a fetus. We didn't remember life before the womb, and we had no idea if there would be life after the womb. All we knew was the womb, but then we were born in and we left the womb and came into our current realm of existence. And now we cannot remember being in the womb before this life, and we have no idea what comes after this life. And when our current life ends, we will be in a different realm together, where we might not remember this realm of existence, just like we don't recall being in the womb. It's just a different realm, one after the other, and we know for a fact exist. Some we only believe exist. There could be realms of existence we have never even entertained the idea of. They could be endless. I don't think we ever really die. Her explanation makes sense, or maybe I am just feeling agreeable because my mouth is on her breast. I grab another condom as I ponder her theory. It seems more probable to be than the idea of purely gas or fire and brimstone ever has. I am still convinced that there is life and there is death, and that is all there is. If you are right, then I like this realm the best, I say, covering her body with mine. She parts her thighs for me and grins against my lips, only because you are in it. I shake my head as I push into her. No, I like it best because I am in you.